when famed paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren attempted to help the Perron family, who after moving into the Arnold estate in the early 1970s claimed to experience endless supernatural happenings in the house. A member of the family was possessed by an evil presence and almost didn't live to tell the tale. This is Truly Unnatural, and I'm your host, Luba Zancoli. Leave the lights on at night. The mysterious comment left chills down Carolyn's spine as she thought about the safety of her daughters. It was winter of 1971 in the small country town of Harrisville, Rhode Island, when Roger Perron and his wife Carolyn moved into a 14-room farmhouse, which seemed to be the true dream house of the Barbie world that their 5 daughters lived. The 200-acre property was beloved by all 7 members of the family. However, from the day and very hour they moved in, the Roman Catholic family started feeling an uneasiness. There was creaking, slamming, whispering, but there's more to tell. Roger, the father of the family, traveled frequently for his work, leaving the 6 women alone in the hands of the Arnold estate. The unusual occurrences began shortly after they moved into the farmhouse. Small, annoyingly prank-like matters such as the broom seemingly moving by itself around the house and being misplaced, small piles of dirt appearing on the kitchen floor after a full scrub down by Carolyn, scraping of the tea kettle heard when there was supposed to be no one in the kitchen at the time, and even all the toys and things of the family ended up shoved under their beds. Not only this, but the children themselves started feeling goodnight kisses from someone at sleeping hours, thinking it was their mother. It was Andrea, the eldest, who distinguished their true blood from the unknown, stating that their mother smelled like soap and ivory, while it was fruit and flowers that they were smelling when they were confusingly gifted the kisses at night. There was a point, however, in which these included features of the house began turning into unsettling disturbances. The Perron family accounts there being a stink of rotting flesh permeating through the home around 5:15 a.m., doors slamming shut, and whispers the daughter had heard in the middle of the night, repeating the phrase, "There are 7 dead soldiers in the wall." Carolyn wondered to herself, is there someone coming in at night? What would I tell the police? Her worrisome demeanor turned into a terrified sense of insecurity when she started feeling physical assaults. She began finding bruises all over her body. Depression and fatigue took over her behavior, so much so that the children account it taking over her whole day-to-day life for months. The distraught mother began researching the history of the house in hopes of some or any small, even pea-sized clue that could end this living nightmare. But what she found only raised her blood pressure even more. According to the WJAR News, the Black Book of Burroughsville, the town's former public records book, reveals that over the course of its existence, the property had been host to 2 suicides by hanging, 1 suicide by poison, the rape and murder of an 11-year-old girl, 2 drownings, and the passing of 4 men who froze to death, in addition to other tragic losses of life. At this point, you might be wondering, well, why didn't they just move? The parents were forced to stay. The financial situation of the Perron family had completely deprived them of their ability to escape this horrible and unexplained torture for 10 whole years. They spent all their money moving in and couldn't afford to relocate. They only suffered even further after they realized they had no way out. Glass and other objects started being launched dangerously into walls. Roger Perron claims he would enter the basement and feel a cold, stinking presence behind him. But the real danger was stuck as if with glue to the mother of the home, Carolyn. One evening, she even professed to feel a sharp pain in her leg, only to look down and see blood trickling down her calf, coming from what seemed to be a large poke with a needle. What kind of mastermind evil genius do you have to be to continue these assaults without getting caught? Mr. and Mrs. Perron began to seek help from various investigators, one of which being renowned investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren. They frequently visited the property over the 10 years the Perrons were stuck there. The key suspect they pointed towards was a previous owner named Bathsheba Sherman, who was accused to be a witch, resultingly from the alleged sacrifice of her children as satanic offerings. However, unable to contact her directly and with dead-end claims, they decided to reach over the line of what some recognize as a one-way ticket to the House of Inferno. They decided to conduct a seance, accompanied by a local priest, if only they knew that it was the completely wrong card to play. Carolyn started becoming someone she never was, speaking a voice that wasn't hers and a tongue that was never recognized. She sat in a chair that started levitating and even flipped upside down. Cindy Perron, the second eldest who witnessed the entire thing in secret along with her sister Andrea, said that the Warrens tried to help, but we essentially found things got worse around them. Roger Perron kicked the Warrens out of the home, and the family had no choice but to remain living in the surviving nightmare. Only 5 years later were they finally able to move out. However, Whoever committed the crimes throughout the years still remained a mystery, with only strong assumptions made but no evidence being followed for them. Later in 2013, Warner Bros. decided to release the first of many films following the skin-crawling true events that paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren experienced in their almost 50 years of adventuring risks. To this day, the Perron family still remains chilled by the experiences and have even admitted that they still never really feel like they're quite alone.